Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This your man, Chris Thorns, and y'all know what this is. I'm coming to you with a news story. So, hey, let's get right into it. What's up, everybody? As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching my content, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a strange one here. I I didn't really think something like this is possible, but I guess that it is possible that this can happen. You have a mom here by the name of Tamara Banks, and you got a guy who's involved there, the name Christopher Hope. I believe that's his name, and you're probably gonna see him going across my screen after a while. And what the story is saying that this woman fed her 4-year-old, who was a diabetic, her 4-year-old daughter, Mountain Dew. She was mixing it up with her formula or feeding it to her through a bottle, and says she's doing this for quite some time, and the baby was brain dead, and they say this was diabetic related. Ladies and gentlemen, let me let y'all hear this clip, and when we get back to more of that in a minute.
For the death of her 4-year-old daughter was sentenced in court today. Ken Brown's live at the alert desk with what kind of jail time she's going to do, because she fed her just like almost all Mountain Dew, right?
Yeah, not a great case, and this is one of the biggest stories of the day, and it comes out of Clermont County. Tamara Banks was sentenced to 13 and a half years in prison for her role in her daughter's death, and Banks fed her daughter mostly Mountain Dew soda through a baby bottle. The child's teeth were rotting away at the time of her death in 2022. Banks pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter in this case, and so did Christopher Hope, who prosecutors say was the other primary caregiver for the 4-year-old. This investigation started after Banks and Hope found the girl unresponsive, called 911. Cincinnati Children's Hospital later determined that she was brain dead. Hope has yet to be sentenced, but he has also pleaded guilty to an involuntary manslaughter charge. His sentencing date is set for June 11th. Of course, we'll continue to follow it. At the alert desk, Ken Brown, Fox 19 Now.
At Hollywood Feed.
Again, that is a weird one. I ain't never heard this before, but like I always tell y'all, once you think you heard the worst is yet to come, okay? The child name is Karmity. If I'm reading it right, Karmity. Karmity, and her last name was Hope as well, so I'm assuming Christopher was her dad. Okay? Karmity died at the Cincinnati's Children's Hospital, and they say it was west of Clermont County, west of her home, as a result of a diabetic ketoacidosis, 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 ketoacidosis. Oh, okay, that probably is ketoacidosis. I think I'm saying that right. And they're saying that's what she died for, and pretty much it got something to do with her being diabetic. Okay. Well, I really don't know what to really say about this, Okay, anybody with common sense would know that if somebody's diabetic, you got to be careful with the sugar intake, you got to be careful with a lot of stuff that you're eating, period, and they say that this lady mainly fed her daughter Mountain Dew, but I'm looking over here in the New York Post. They saying Ohio mom sentenced for the death of 4-year-old diabetic daughter who was mostly fed baby formula mixed with Mountain Dew. They saying it was baby formula mixed with the Mountain Dew from the New York Post that I'm reading, and uh, she got 13 years in jail. And y'all heard it say Christopher is gonna get sentence in June. I will say this here. I will say this here. Again, it just come at a time, at a place where a lot of these so-called moms don't deserve to be moms, you know, and a lot of them need to have a mental evaluation before calling themselves trying to be a mom, all right? In the beginning, I believe they do want to be a mom. They love the child or whatever. It's probably one of the most beautiful things in the beginning. But one will always have to question what happened down the middle that caused you not to love your child no more. Because if you loved your child so much, you would have never done that. And again, I told y'all, with me, it's different when the dads participate in these type of fooleries. You know, it's different, you know. I mean, I just don't get why have them when you don't want them. Okay? And then what makes it so bad? The older brother says something similar like this happened to someone else. This story, what today's 29th? This right here was posted on 24th. And it says, a greater Cincinnati mother was sentenced Friday after pleading guilty to a criminal charge in her 4-year-old death. Tamara Banks, or Tamara Banks, however you want to say it, 41, was sentenced to 9 to 13 and a half years in prison for involuntary manslaughter. Karmity County prosecutor said Banks' daughter died in 2022 because she was denied proper nutrition and medical care. She and the child's father, Christopher Hope, were indicted in 2003 on charges of murder, involuntary manslaughter, and endangering children. Hope, 53, also has pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Court records show he is scheduled to be sentenced at 10:30 on June the 11th. The rest of the charges against them were dismissed at the recommendation of prosecutors in exchange for the couple's guilty pleas. Jerry Banks, the son of Tamara, spoke with Fox 19 Now about his thoughts on the trial. It goes on to say, while the judge held Tamara to the most he could with her prior convictions, I still feel like the process was rushed, Jerry said. She learned nothing but how to speak in court. That's her son saying that. Banks and Hope were the girl's sole caretakers, and they found her unresponsible on January 21st, 2022, and called 911. Prosecutor Mark recently said in a news release the child was taken to the Cincinnati Children's Hospital and ultimately determined to be brain dead, according to the release. She was taken off life support on January 24th, 2022, and passed away. Due to the neglect and abuse by her parents, KH suffered for a majority of her short life, they said in the release. Banks and Hope fed the girl mostly Mountain Dew through a baby bottle, resulting in her teeth rotting, and she had almost none left when she died, he has said. The coroner ruled the child's cause of death from diabetic ketoacidosis, if I'm saying that right, a life-threatening complication of diabetes. Essentially, the girl had diabetes that was left undiagnosed and untreated over a long period of time. Banks' oldest son, Jerry Banks, recently told Fox 19 Now that a similar situation happened to his brother back in 2011. One day he just went lethargic and wouldn't move, and the only thing he would respond to was sugar, and for 36 hours, she, Tamara Banks, passed out in the back room. Okay, sound like she may be a drunk. Jerry Banks said in the March 19 interview, I had to wake her up and force her to take him to the hospital, and that's when he was found to be in DKA, the same thing that happened to KH. The doctor just so happened to catch it in time to save him. Jerry Banks said he never got the chance to meet his little sister because she was kept away from other family members. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. I just recently did a story about the 15-year-old who was shot twice, burnt, sexually assaulted, molested, whatever you want to call it, by her own mom boyfriend. And the reason she was set on fire was because the mom was trying to cover up the sexual abuse that her boyfriend did to her. All right. Then come to find out in the story, as I reached out to the stepmom, told me that the reason they was caught in Texas, because they stayed in Louisiana, but the reason they was caught in Texas because they was on the road and they was planning on burying the baby's body. She was 50 years old. They were planning on burying her body. I say that to say this story is similar. This woman has multiple children, and it seems like the ones that she didn't like, she was hoping or catering to the death of. While the little brother was saved, the little girl was not saved. All right? This woman right here would just have her children just to be having them. But they really give a damn about having them. And more likely probably was doing this just for the benefits as well. So like anybody else, we have children and do this type of fuck shit. It's only for the benefits. They do not care about the children whatsoever. But again, us men, we tend to sit down. We tend to lay down with these women and get them pregnant. And I don't understand why. But it's a bad cycle that we got going on right now. And that needs to stop. Because if it doesn't stop, you're going to have more moms like these, horrible mothers like these, if it's even safe to call this woman a mom. We're going to have them. So we have to stop laying down with anything. Seriously, we just got to. And I might be all over the place with this, because really, I just don't know what to say, man. This is one of the wildest as it gets. I really don't know what really to say about this. I don't. Or is the proper thing is, what can I say that I haven't said before? What can I say that I already haven't said before about many other stories I have done? Four-year-old Mountain Dew, diabetic, teeth rotten. They have none left when she died. Wow, then you see when they pull her out, she's in a wheelchair, so I wonder if she's diabetic too. I don't know, man. What else can I say? Y'all know what? I'm going to leave it at that because I really don't know what else to say about this, man. This is just this word is getting too wild. It's getting too wild. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. This is, I don't know what else to say, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think. All right. It's your man, Chris Thornson. Rest in heaven, young lady. Rest in heaven.